We're
And
live.
we're live.
We're live.
And we're live, finally. Hello, everyone. My name is Glenda. I am a nurse and I'm also a global online entrepreneur. And welcome to our episode for tonight. We are the NursePreneur in action live. And for those of you who is watching this for the first time, um, we are a group of nurses who decided to come together every Thursday night to go live. And we've been reading Danny Johnson's book. The What's the title of the book, ladies? First steps, first steps
Wow.
to wealth. And we've been dissecting, sort of. I've been dissecting the book. We've been sharing the book per chapters. And in our previous episodes, we have discussed we have shared our takeaways, life experiences, our life learnings in relation to the loss of success, which was mentioned by the author in the book. And tonight is quite special. It's quite different, though it is the fourth chapter of the book, and it is entitled "Polishing Your Gems." This is quite different in a way that we are going to learn something very powerful, and a powerful communication technique, skill, or tool that will help us discover who we are, the people around us, may it be our family member, our friends, and our co-workers, at work. And in this chapter, the author categorized the people into four basic personality type. And each personality type, she assigned it to a certain gem, to a certain precious stone. And before I say anything more, because we are already running late, let me start the ball rolling. And may I call on may I call on Miss Leia to please do the honor of sharing first your takeaways. Is that okay?
Hello everyone. Can you hear me? My audio is not very loud, but let me try.
Yeah,
Is it
let
loud?
me. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are right now. Welcome to our Go Live session every Thursday. As what have mentioned by Coach Glenda, we are all nursepreneurs. So yeah, we'll be discussing the chapter 4 of the Danny Johnson book, Polishing Your Gems. So this chapter taught us how to um, really taught us to have the powerful communication skills to understand everyone's characteristic or personalities in relation to the 4 gems that what have Danny Johnson's discussed in her book. And I'm going to read some paragraph, some sentences what Johnny Johnson have mentioned that you must understand that you cannot change people. You can only change how you deal with people. So everyone have their own gem. So gem personality. So I'm going to discuss about the pearl gem personality. So to effectively do this, we have to learn the different language of each gem so that there's harmony when you deal with every person. So Pearl have the great motivator of a pearl is to help everyone. So like every gem, they like to help, but for the pearl, that is their best motivator to help everyone. And they are quite introvert, but they like to help. They're a good listener. They don't talk too much, but they love to listen. But they have a humble heart, a nurturing heart. They love to serve because they want to help people. But and also they avoid confrontation. But if they want to tackle some issues, they will confront some issues, but in a graceful manner. They don't really like to argue, but confrontation always happens in life. Every day there's some confrontation, but Pearl like to deal with it in a graceful manner. And Pearl also, they are trustworthy, they are loyal, and they are true to their word. But since they love to help people, they love to be around with people. They love to be they love people. They love to be around with people, even though they are introvert. But they try to what you call this? They try to how can I say it? They try to um mingled but not so social, unlike the sapphire. That's what I have read about. And they like though they like people, they don't like large crowd. And also, if you and they appreciate personal touch, and they love sentimental values. So if you want to approach pearl people, the pearls, or want to share idea with them, make sure you have to approach them if possible in a face-to-face manner, or to phone them rather than sending them just message. Just approach them face to face or phone them, talk to them personally. And then if you want to approach them or share ideas with them, make sure it's their own schedule or their own time, because in that way they make them comfortable. And then if you want to share ideas, make sure that you get excited, but not to overload them with information and information or stories, and make them valued. And then what else I have read about the pros? Yeah, they don't want you to give them so much information. They prefer to have some testimonials. They love to read as well, rather than overloading them some information. And then what else I've read about pearls? Um, the pearls as well, since they are good listener, they want to be listened as well. They don't want you to talk too much. But once you share them information, don't overload, don't talk too much. Just listen to them as well and ask them question. And yeah, what else? That's all I can say. Sorry, that's all.
I'm sure you're going to remember some more. Thank you so much, Miss Leia. I like that. You made it sound really, really beautiful. Now I want to be a pearl. I am more confused now. The pearl sounds very, elegant and modest. I want to be a pearl. So next, let's hear the next gem from Miss Maricel.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Maricel. I'm also a nurse, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So just like everyone here in this page. Yes, so hopping straight right in, Danny Johnson categorized people into 4 different gems. So she's laid it out for us to understand how to communicate efficiently and effectively with people. She's saying that, sometimes we wanted to change a certain person. Say, for example, you're a boss, a manager, even like in parenting, this would apply because I can relate very well with my 2 kids. They have 2 different personalities. And me trying to implement what I want them to do just doesn't work because they learn differently, they listen differently. They have different personalities. Same with how Danny Johnson categorized 4 people. And Leia discussed pearls, and I will be discussing emeralds. So she's saying that in dealing with people, you need to find out what type of person they are, and it will make your life so much easier rather than trying to implement what you want them to do. You need to deal with them in a manner on how they would easily do what you want by trying to find out how they would learn more, just like in nursing as well. It's the same. So emeralds, she's saying that they are motivated by orders, by facts and figures. They want everything orderly and super organized. They like to follow instructions. They do inventories. Say, for example, they opened a packet of something or an equipment, and there's something missing in the equipment, they wouldn't dare to operate it. They would pop them back into the packets, labeled inside one by one, sending it back to the manufacturer and asking for a replacement. That's how they wanted everything done perfectly. And if they like to follow policies and procedures, they always wanted to know the whys behind each thing that they do. They like to know the whys in everything. I think this goes well with nursing as well. We as nurses work in accordance to all the guidelines and policies. We each task that we do is always backed up by a rationality why we do what we do. It needs to be evidenced. Same with emeralds, it needs to be evidence based, right? So I think most nurses at the workplace, in line with the policies and procedure, they work as emeralds. They spend a lot. They spend a lot of time in research. Emerald peoples, emerald people say Danny Johnson said they are diligent problem solvers. They always have backup plans. If there's a problem, they would think thoroughly of a solution to it, but not just one solution. They have 5 solutions for that problem. And sometimes it becomes problematic because they wanted to be so sure, they wanted to pick up the best solution to a problem, that it takes a lot of time processing all that. And sometimes Danny Johnson said it hinders success because emeralds like to have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and testing all those plans sometimes it takes a lot of time. And same with entering a venture. Emeralds wanted to plan from start to the end, and sometimes with the facing, the opportunity is sometimes gone. So that's how it affects success. Because we all know that once the opportunity is there, you need to grab it because it might never come back again. So she mentioned there as well, like if there's a husband and wife, if they are both emerald, you can just imagine how perfect the house would be. Like everything is set out. There's a budget for this, there's a budget for that, there's holiday money and all that, there's money in the bank. It's perfect. Same with like a workplace. If everyone is an emerald, the workplace is just perfect. However, it will be boring. There would be, it's all in an orderly manner. Everything is planned. There's no thrill. So that's the downside of being an emerald. Everything needs to be perfect, and there's not so much fun. And if you're like giving them instructions, say for example, you're meeting up someone who is an emerald. You're presenting a business proposal, perhaps. So you identify that prospect to be an emerald. You need to make sure that you have all the resources with you. You have brochures, you have websites, you have leaflets right in front of you, available. That's how you win them. So you need to tell them the integrity of a product, the facts, the testimonials. That's how you get that deal. You don't just say, I feel like, this is going to work for you because you're such and such. No, you need to present them with a paper, black and white. That's how they would, win. That's how you would win their heart. So that's all I can say. I think, me personally, I think I'm an emerald. Maybe that's why I chose it. I like
beautiful.
I like everything planned and backed up. Yeah.
I know. I read about that too, and it seems like emerald also is a beautiful personality. Yes. However, I want to hear some more from another gem. I think I like to hear it from Thea.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. So my name is Thea, Thea Azano Digital Marketing. So I'm a nurse as well, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Hi,
Hi
Ancha.
guys.
Sorry. Hi, Sherry Ann and Ancha. Hi. They're watching right now.
Hi guys. Yeah, thank
Sorry,
you for
Thea.
being here with us. No, no,
Do
it's
it,
fine.
Thea.
So, um, so why is it important, for us to identify our primary gem? And it's very, very, very important for us in order for us to gain and understand, who we are and how we relate to others. And tonight, I actually have chosen a sapphire for a gem. Not that I'm a sapphire myself, but I just like this gem. You know why? Because sapphire are the life of the party. I think all of us anyway got these four gems. We actually have, probably a little bit of all the gems with these four gems in our personality. But there are gems that are more prominent in us. And I would say that I think sapphires, we have it, all of us, probably the five of us, have probably have this personality in us. So what are sapphires like? So they're always having parties. They're always love being around with people. So the thing with sapphire, if you get an appointment with them, uh, don't expect them to be there on time, because most of the time they are always late. And if you get upset because they are late, it's not their fault, and it's gonna be you who's gonna be at fault for getting upset for them for being late. So that's the only thing. And then another thing is that sapphires, they are actually, when you're in business, they are actually the best promoter. So because they love talking to people, they like mingling with people, so they are the best. They are uh, it works for them if you show them positive motivation, and then they will work for recognition more than they will work for the money. That's what they are like. And if you're working with or if you approach people with Sapphire's personality, you just have to keep things as simple as you can, being casual with them and not too formal. And then you have to tell them lots of stories, and you have to present your product to them and make them feel your product. That's what they like. And what else can I say? What else did I read about Sapphire? So if you have, like in the family, if you have a child who is a Sapphire gem, so appreciation and encouragement um, are work with them quite well. I think that's all I could say about Sapphire. So yeah, thank you very much.
Wow, I like that. I want to be a sapphire too. Woohoo! The life of the
That
party. Party,
that is
party.
an opposite of the emerald, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, last but not the least, I want to hear it from Windel.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Coach Glenda. Good
Good
evening to
evening,
all.
Windel.
Yeah, and to all our listeners or viewers. Yeah, actually, rubies. Rubies is the fourth gem, and it's kind of resonate me, or I don't know, and especially rubies is my birthstone. So, or ruby is my birthstone, so it kind of resonate me, and I, when I was reading this again today, just to have a brief overview of what's really going on with rubies, it made me realize that probably Danny Johnson is right, because I find the qualities or the attributes, it's quite interesting. And based on the book that she wrote, it says rubies like to win. Okay, so they always like to win. They love challenges. And because of the challenges, they think that this could be an opportunity to showcase their skills. And rubies are goal oriented. They are very outspoken and very bold. They are very determined and enterprising. And they usually start the business because they like to be entrepreneurs and want to be their own bosses or their own boss. So probably some of us, we have this part of rubies because this is the reason why what we're doing, isn't it? You would like to be a boss of our own businesses, and they lead, they are action oriented, they are direct to the point, and they love to make things happen. So when you are sharing ideas with different gems, when you are talking to rubies, you need to be sharp and concise. You have to offer a short testimonial, and at the same time, you make sure that you have to put the goals in front of them. So it's really more on goals orientation. And when you communicate with each gem, it says that you need to get to the bottom line quickly and do not spend a lot of chit chatting. Just straight to the point. That's what it says here. And you need to show them how are you going to hit the goals. They are more on a solutions. They provide solutions, or you have to show them the solutions to the problems, and you have to give them the ability to do it now because they hate waiting. So, and as mentioned a while ago, they tell results, and most of the results should be oriented stories. So that's the different characteristics of rubies that I could share of. Thank you.
Wow. Now I have to bundle it up now. All these four
You want to
personalities.
be a Ruby too?
But the truth is, since I read this chapter last night and the whole day today, I've been trying to analyze myself because I am desperate. I want to put myself in this, at least, one gem. But the thing is, pasok ako sa apat eh. Promise. I
Just
feel
like
like,
what Thea said, we have a
I
bit of
think we have, yeah,
everything.
yes,
Yes.
I
yeah,
can
we
feel
have
like,
what.
okay. For example, Sapphire. You said Sapphire. This is the happy-go-lucky personality. They are the life of the party personality, and one of their what they not really dominant, like distinctive characteristic is these are the people who always arrives late,
Like,
comes to work late. With that, I can relate. So somehow I feel like, oh my gosh, I have a Sapphire. I can I have
people
a bit of
oriented.
Always
Sapphire
late
in
ba?
me. The next is Pearl. The Pearl, these are the nurturing, people, the nurturing personality. These are the very helpful people. These are the people we will see as volunteers in the
Social
charity,
workers.
yes, events. They are willing to work for
Yeah,
free,
but they can be taken advantage of because of
yes,
that.
for
Yeah.
the spirit, of
Yeah,
Because they
helping.
have the hard
And
time to say no.
exactly. And I want to think that I have that nurturing, side in me as well. As, I mean, I think it's natural for women, yeah, huh? All of us has that, nurturing, what they call personality, helping. Who doesn't want to help? I want to help too. So with that, I can relate with Pearl. And the next one is Emerald. Oh, don't underestimate me. Yeah, I know. These are the I imagine it to be, like the nerdy type of personality. These are the academic, people. These are the people who goes for values. They goes for statistics. So if you want to sell them something, you cannot sell it to them by just telling this is beautiful or this is good, this is the best in the market. They want proof. They want
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah,
And if you want to
I think
present to them, huh?
uh say it to believe. I think there are those types of
Yes.
people.
Yeah, these are the people that if you have to present to them, face to face, you have to be armed with all these evidences,
Yeah, with all the data,
references. You will find this in
research.
this book, chapter 2, page something like that. These are the kind of personality. I may not look, that nerdy, that academic, but I can be difficult, as well. You might think that I am easy because I will just agree, okay, okay, especially if it's something that I don't know, anything. But believe me, when I go home, I will research quietly. You may not present it to me, but I will find out. I have that side in me as well. And now the last one is Ruby. The Ruby is the competitive kind of personality, yeah. These are the people who wants the best. If
Mhm.
if it's we're talking about the biggest, they will come up with the biggest one. Smallest, they will come up with the smallest one. These are the type of people, alam mo, I remember, yung wala ka sa lolo ko. These are the personality who will always win in that kind of competition. Wala ka sa lolo ko, yung ganon. these are
Very
these are
competitive.
the personality who will always win because their lolo will always be the best of the best. Yes, I can
Mhm.
relate with that as well. These are the personalities who are attracted to beautiful things. They're attracted to, the fine things, in life. Who is not?
Meron ka ba diyang
I
wala ka
like
sa lolo
beautiful
ko?
things. I am attracted to beautiful
Give us
things.
something wala ka sa lolo ko.
Wala ka sa lolo ko. Yeah, I like that too. See, um, now if you are like me, you are a bit confused. I also tried to analyze, to categorize, my husband and my kids, because of course I want to find out what kind of gems I have here inside my house. But the thing is, like me, it seems like they all have a bit of everything. Parang pasok din sila sa apat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a mental chart, and try to tick, each one. Every time you guys say, oh my God, that's a bit of sapphire, that's a bit of this, of that. So that is when we will finally come up with a conclusion kung ano talaga sila. If you are like me, you cannot conclude right now what kind of gem you are. Don't worry. It is normal because as the chapter said, it is polishing the gems. Polishing. Polishing is a process. It depends kung saan ka hinukay na gem. If you came from the depth of the earth, then it will take, probably a while to polish you, to soften the rough edges, so the natural luster in you, or the natural person, your natural quality of your personality will shines through. Reading this chapter reminds me so much of our psychiatric nursing. Ladies, psychiatric nursing, come on. Psychiatry is the study of abnormal behavior. Yeah. Or I don't want to say it abnormal, more like a disorder. Yeah. And of course, to understand better, psychiatry, we have to study psychology, which is the study of the normal behavior. Yeah. So we can differentiate the two. And the thing is, do you remember na walang diferensya? There's no difference at all. The characteristic of, the people in the psychiatry, the characteristic of the personalities that we studied in psychiatry and psychology are exactly the same. Exactly the same. Because these are human behavior. Why? Yung patient sa psychiatric patient, they're not human. They're human. So all the characteristics is exactly the same as the normal, characteristic. All of us, got it. Lahat tayo, meron. Lahat tayo has that exact, personality. The only thing that differs is that with psychiatry, that's when, that characteristic become excessive. Kumbaga, it becomes very dominant, that it inhibits them from living their normal life. Like it's too excessive that hindi na sila makakain, you know. They become too obsessed that they forgot to sleep, you know, anymore. That's when it becomes a disorder. Otherwise, it is, you know, a normal characteristic. Okay, let's say for example, ano ba yung common na personality disorder? Let's say schizophrenia, 'di ba? Schizophrenia. Ano ba yung distinctive characteristic ng schizophrenia? Hindi ba sila yung may delusion of grandeur?
Paranoid.
Delusion of grandeur. Wala ba tayong ganun? Di ba, when sometimes you post this picture of the Korean actor in your Facebook and then you said, this is my papa. That is delusion of grandeur, ladies and gentlemen.
Parang wala pa naman akong nilagay na ganun sa Facebook ko. Sandali, ha?
Meron walang ganyan, aminin. Meron pa nga ako nakita, poster ng cash landing.
James Reid yata ang nilagay ko.
yung leading lady, pinutol yung ulo, nilagyan ng ulo ng, you know, that is delusion of grandeur, ladies and gentlemen. Ako, well, hindi ako nagmamalinis dito. When I was younger, I used to cut out, you know, the pictures of my celebrity crushes. Dahil ilalagay ko sa, you know, sa journal ko or whatever.
Sino naman yan?
Yes. Do you remember yung secret?
Sino? Sabihin mo. Sino?
Aga muna. Come on. Do you remember yung slam book? Where may question dun, who is your boyfriend? Okay, can you remember? Anong sinusulat niyo dun? Kasi ako meron, naalala ko yung sinusulat niyo dun. Brad Pitt.
Parang flames lang.
Exactly. So does that make me, you know, schizophrenic? No. When it becomes an obsessive, you know, characteristic, when it becomes excessive already, like hindi ka na makatulog, hindi ka na makausap ng maayos, hindi ka na kumakain dahil sa mga delusional that's what becomes, you know, a disorder. Ano pa yung common nila? They talk to themselves, di ba? Nakikita natin nagsasalita sila on their own. Don't tell me na hindi natin yan ginawa. Like for example, you are at work, tapos you know, merong nangiinis sa'yo na, oh my God, you're really at the point na I'm going to kill this man. You know, to that point, what do you do? Do you kill the man? Do you punch him? You don't do that, yeah? You just walk out. You walk out.
So with that, it says on the book, with if you have colleagues like that's getting into your nerves, you have to find out what type of person he is. You cannot change that person anymore.
Exactly.
So you yourself have to adjust on how to deal with him. Yes.
Now that we know that, we are okay.
However, you will win that way.
Yes. However, what I'm saying is this kind of characteristic is normal. What I'm saying is this is common. We do all this, but that doesn't mean that may disorder na tayo, because we usually do that. We walk out, we go to an open field or somewhere where no one can see us, no one will hear us, and we're going to shout, we're going to swear, you know, just to let it all, you know, yung mga bottled up, you know, feelings mo. And then that kind of behavior is normal because it's a form of coping mechanism. Yes, instead of punching someone, you just walk out and shout to the open air. But if someone is watching you, you will look really like krang-krang. But it's not. It's a coping mechanism. You are trying to cope with this feeling of anger. Now you have to express it, otherwise you're going to explode. It is also a therapeutic. It's a therapeutic, you know, act. You went out, and after you shouted, you walk back again, and you feel better. See, it saved you from going to jail. Instead of punching someone or killing someone, you just, you know what, it's a normal, you know, it's a normal behavior. But if we see it in the patient, it becomes abnormal because they don't do it just once or twice, you know, during the whole day. They probably they're talking, you know, all the time to this voice, which to us, they look funny, but to them, we are the one who is funny because they're actually talking to someone. Someone is talking to them. Yes. So again, lumayo na tayo. What I'm saying here is that it is okay if you feel like you are a bit of sapphire, a bit of pearl, a bit of what is emerald or ruby. That is normal because it is a process. Finding the gem in you is a process. You have to keep on polishing it and polishing it and polishing it until it's very clear to you. The only good thing about personalities is that it changes. It changes as you grow older. Yes, we said here that we should never try to change someone. Yeah, if you find a colleague who is an emerald and you are sapphire, or you are ruby, don't try to change him to become a ruby like you. Let him be an emerald. Let him be an emerald, and support him. Respect. This is the thing. Now that we have a knowledge about these four basic personality types, it helps us to acknowledge, other people's, shortcomings, other people's weaknesses, and their strength. Respect their weaknesses, and try to be understanding. Yes, don't change it because it will never help and it's never going to happen. Instead, it's going to be destructive to both of you, to the person you're trying to change, and to you. Both of you will just end up frustrated. Instead, now that we have this a little bit knowledge of the personality of, because we are designed differently, we are wired in a way that is different from each other. um, it is not right to redesign yourself or to redesign others. Though what I'm saying here is that you cannot change other, but you can change yourself. Yes, you can change yourself. You can even change your circumstances, but you can never change others. Don't try to do that because it's going to be destructive to both of you. Instead, try to find out what kind of personality he has, and respect his weakness, and support his strength. Motivate him. Motivate him so he will progress, or he will maximize his abilities, or his gifts, as being an emerald. Like Thea said, if you meet a sapphire who comes to work late, um it will be your fault if you get angry about it, and if you get frustrated, because already that you have already identified that he is a sapphire.
So
Just but it is also right to let him know that he's actually late, so he would know that you are aware. But don't try to make it difficult for him. Instead, give him an assignment that he will fare really, really, really good. So if you are doing business together, you are trying to close a deal, because this sapphire, they may be late, but they are good in interacting with people. They're good with people. They're very people oriented. Interacting with people is like breathing air to them. So if you have this very, very important contract to be signed, very, very important deal to close, give it to him. Give it to him. Okay, good. He arrived 30 minutes late. Make a joke about it. Good evening. How are you? You know, and then, by the way, I have this assignment for you. Do you mind, doing this? And he will come back with $1 million deal closed. How is that? Is that worth the 30 minutes late? It is very worth it. So that's what I mean. Respect their weakness. Don't try to change them, because they will never change. It is not going to happen. You will only end up frustrated, and it will be destructive to both of you. And the good news here is that, as I said, personalities change. As we grow older, as we mature, our personality changes. See? And the good news is, as we grow older, as we mature, our personality change in a way that we are able to change our personality, that it becomes likable. It becomes better. Actually, it becomes better. And believe me, as I said, I can relate with Sapphire, because I used to be late. I say I used to be late, and believe me, I just live right across the hospital. It will only take me 5 minutes to cross, and that's it, the hospital already. I am always late, like 5 minutes late, because I'll be in the changing room at 8 o'clock. And they used to tease me about it, and I get used to it, that I thought it's only a joke. it's like, as Wendell said, I am self-sabotaging myself, because it's not that I oversleep, because I always wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. Before and until now that I have kids, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm always awake. I'm always up. I would, take a shower, prepare myself. 7 o'clock, I'll be sitting in the sofa watching the news. And I'll just keep on doing 7:30, 7:40, 7:50. And at the very, very last minute, that's when I will leave the house. So of course, you cannot foresee whatever. If, it's traffic, of course, it's traffic already, because it's almost 8 o'clock. So it will take me like 5 minutes just waiting for this car for me to be safe, for me to cross the road. So that's already my 5 minutes allowance to use. So I am late already. So I self-sabotage myself. Why didn't I just, get up at 7:30 and start walking? But I did that. I mean, on purpose. But before, I was in denial. I wasn't doing it on purpose. I just feel that that time it was very right to do it. But right now, not anymore. It changed because my circumstances changed. My lifestyle changed when I, have my family. Now I have kids. We only have one car. So I have to be at work at 8 o'clock. The kids has to go to school. The kids have to be in school at 9 o'clock. So my husband has to drop me off, and my husband has to come back to our house to, prepare the kids, for school and all that. So if I'll be late, let's say, like exactly 8 o'clock, and they'll be stuck somewhere here in the busy road somewhere here, and then my kids will go to school late. So with that in mind, I was conscious, about it. So, I have to change, I have to consciously, change that. Finally, I acknowledge that what I was doing is actually wrong, and I can actually change it. So just like everything else, I mean, we cannot change other people, but we can change ourselves. We can change our circumstances. And the good thing is that as we grow older, we change for the better. So that's all I can say. Is there anything else you want to say? I think I talk too much. I even did psychology. What about it? Psychology, psychiatry. It's a good thing though. Am I right? See, I was really amazed when we were studying this, this characteristic, and they're almost the same. I'm like, so what's the difference now? Yeah, there's no difference actually. The human characteristic is the same. It's universal. It only becomes a disorder when it becomes destructive, when it becomes excessive, and it prevents you from functioning your normal, functioning everyday, functioning. So when it interferes, that when it becomes a disorder. So it's the same with all these personalities. Don't worry if you feel like you are confused right now. You feel a bit of a pearl, of sapphire. It's a process. The title of the chapter is polishing the gem. So keep on polishing, because every day you will find a little bit of, the gems that you are will become clearer and clearer and clearer every day. Just keep on polishing it. Yes, come on, girls. Is there anything you want to say? Wendell, come on, Wendell. Is there anything you want to say?
Um, I do agree that when I was listening to the different gems as well, I realized that I'm a bit of everything, and I just can't be in just one type of gem, because listening to our co-nurses discussing about the different types of gem, I could relate that I can be something else. I can be like that, or I can be, but majority probably, based on my reading, I am more on rubies. I am more on like that. As you can see, I talk too much probably, but it not that much. Or it depends on the situation, but I'd rather focus on something. That's how I see things. If I, for example, in the morning, what I usually do is sit down, plan my day ahead. I have to write down some list because I need to priority what I'm going to do. Because otherwise, if for example, if I have not meet that list that I have created, I'm getting frustrated. And
Yes.
if I wanted something, I really wanted as soon as possible. And that's me. And sometimes I hated it because I'm getting frustrated. But as with the different gems, we need to make sure that sometimes um, we can be a different types of gems as well in order for us to make a balance, a life balance. Because otherwise, if we're going to focus more on the gems alone, it could be so overburdened, it could be so frustrating, and sometimes you get overwhelmed. Okay, so and well, when you feel that, obviously it's not healthy anymore. So yeah, so that's the type of gems that I could share. And at the same time, um what do you think about yourself, Leia? Mirazel?
It seems
Me.
that Miracel, might be
Well,
right.
I
That
think I am most I don't know. Remember during our chat what pearl what gem we have to choose, and then I just choose pearl, and then because I love pearl as well, and it just so happened while reading about
I
the
love
pearl.
pearls
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it just so happened while reading the pearl, I'm a bit of pearl because I'm slightly introvert. I'm not really extrovert person. I'm slightly introvert, and then I love sentimental values. I love yeah. I like to avoid I don't like confrontation.
Yeah.
That's how I am. If there's some confrontation, like what I've said before, I try not to. I try to um enter into a confrontation, but not into argumentative way. You know what I mean? I try not to flare the conduct the confrontation. So in a way, I'm sort of a person. So the and based on Danny Johnson's chapter about polishing your gem, the major takeaway I have learn about this is no matter what gem you are, because even though I'm most of the pearl person, I still have a bit of ruby, I have a bit of sapphire, I'm a
Mhm.
bit of emerald. The most important thing is how you deal with people. So you
Yeah.
cannot really insist
Yeah.
what type of personality you are to other person. You have to learn, you have to understand their personality so that you can um, learn how to approach, learn how to communicate, learn how to deal with
interact
every
with them.
personality
Yeah.
you are dealing with every day. So same thing at work. If you have this type of personality, you cannot really ask them to change. As what Maricel have mentioned earlier, and Coach Glenda, you cannot really change every person. You
It's just
have
going to
to
give you a
understand
headache.
what's their
Yeah.
personality so that you
Yeah.
can
And
Mm.
deal the person properly and you can have a nice day as well at work.
yeah, that's how I deal with my kids, right? I've got two boys and they have totally different personality. Me, because my dad was really strict. Whatever my dad says, yun na talaga yon. So I try to implement that because I was brought up like that. I was trying to do that with my kids as well, but it didn't work. So it was actually my husband who made me realize this. They are two different personalities. You cannot just, this is the rule of the house. No, it my little one, Marcus. Oh my goodness. So right, I it doesn't matter if you cannot identify yourself or someone in within those four gems. It doesn't really matter a lot. It's knowing how to deal with them. That's the important thing, right? So I found out, parenting wise, my younger one, he likes being given something. He likes being rewarded, right? That's how he would be more efficient, effective, or helpful in the house. So if I ask him to like pick up your clothes, you just left your socks there, he won't move. Or take out the clean plates from the dishwasher, he won't do that. But if I pay him £1 to do that, he would do it as quickly as he could. So that's what we have been doing with him, right? Because from the beginning we've tried to implement this in the house and it just didn't work. So if you tell him, right, if you unload the dishwasher, then maybe later on you can watch this, something like that. You have to learn how to please them so they'll be more effective and it will be easier for you. But if I do that to my older son, he would, if I tell him something, he would just do it straight away. He is more on like, oh, I'll get you new trainers or something. It's not always material things, but the mere fact that they could go online if they do this, right? Because I've
Mhm.
tried doing the old-fashioned way, you know, the, if you live in this house, you do this, you do that. Kids nowadays, it's not going to work anymore. So I try to adjust my parenting ways as well. It's hard to begin with because I said, why do I need to pay him to unload the dishwasher? Masasayang lang laway ko, Day. Madadagdagan lang ang wrinkles ko. So I just, I said, okay, this is how it should be. Right? So, ayun, sumusunod siya. Same with, colleagues and friends and other people. You just try to find out how to deal with them more effectively rather than wasting time and energy, stressing yourself out. So, yun lang.
It's a good thing, though. It's a good thing that we know now there's 4 personality types, especially this chapter, because the author did not only, mention the characteristics of each personality. She also mentioned how to manage this. This is just like, like buying, a gem, like a precious stone. It comes with an instruction how to take care of it. Yes. Well, I could say maybe the emerald, sapphire, and ruby will almost have the same, care instructions because they're made of hard stones. But do you know that to take care of pearl is totally different? Yes, I learned about this a long time ago. Pearls are alive. Yeah, you know that, yeah? Yung minsan nanganganak sila, they're alive. So you should not, keep them in the jewelry box, in the container for so long. You should take it out. Do you know that they become more beautiful? Yung luster nila becomes more yung sinasabi na pearly white, nagkakaroon sila ng character, yung white nila nagkakaroon ng character if you wear them often, because just like any living things, they need air, they need sunlight, they need warmth. So the more you use them,
Baka kaya minsan may bumubulong sa akin.
Baka girl, sabi mo
Buhay
beautiful the way you are.
Was a lot to number, Mirazel.
You are beautiful the way you are. Yes, see. So, again,
kailangan mo nang magpa-botox, Day.
This is a very, very beautiful chapter because it helps us to actually, understand, who we are and the people around us. It makes us more aware of the people around us. It makes us more respectful and less, judgmental. That way, if we carry on, doing this, if we try to categorize, the people around us, and try to be more respectful, and understanding of their strength, and weaknesses. We learn how to acknowledge and be more tolerating of their weaknesses, and motivate them and be more supportive, towards their strength. Then we're going to coexist and work together, with harmony, with harmony and productively. Don't you agree? What a beautiful world we live.
Sakyan mo lang sila yung sakyan, diba? Like, yung mga taong mahilig mag-pray sa sarili nila, yung sakyan mo lang. O, ba't ka pa makikipag, diba? May mga workmates ka na, yung mahilig, basta magkukwento ng ano, oo ka lang ng oo, sige lang.
Sometimes we get, irritated, but we should not, because, that is only one side of them, They might have, something, better to show. So just just respect that. Respect that and be less judgmental, of their weakness, and try to discover, para hindi ka mainis, try to discover their strength. Sabihin mo, this must be, his weakness. He must have a strength. Hanapin mo yun.
Diba? Kung may manager ka, if you have a manager who likes noodles, lutuan mo siya ng pansit.
That's bribery.
Mm-mm.
Why not? Why not?
Gusto
Whatever,
mo mag-annual leave
your
ng
needs.
you want to file annual leave for more than 2 weeks. O, alam mo, mahilig siya sa pansit. Nagtuwaan mo siya ng pansit. Joke lang.
Siyempre, gems.
Mm-mm.
Pwede palang pwede palang care instruction pa lang pagbigay ng pansit. Why not? Why not? If you will get the 2 weeks annual leave. Yes, so ladies, Thea, why
Forming is
are you
very,
quiet? Come on.
very effective. I said forming is very, very effective.
Forming like the topic last week, yeah.
We should be familiar with this because we do this every day at work. We do history taking. Yun nga lang, with our forming at work, history taking is more in-depth because we try to know the age, of course, the sex, we makikita natin, ano yung gender nila. These are all important. Are they married? Do they have children? Because with this, it will help us to the conclusion kung ano yung sakit nila, di ba? To the diagnosis. With the doctors, how they analyze how they how they do the history taking is a bit different, with us. Kasi tayo, with nurses, we are not only focused on their illness, we're not only focused on the disease process, we're not only focused on the physical aspect of the patient. We are more on yung totality niya, his spiritual, emotional, psychological, because we care for them. We give them, this bedside care, we interact, with patient. It is an advantage to us if we take a thorough history taking kasi maintindihan natin where they're coming from. If they are very rude and let's say, alam mo ba, yung parang abrupt yung personality nila, try to understand, are you married? Do you have children? Or hindi natin alam, baka she is in pain pag wala siyang family. That's why irritated siya kasi she's not used to having people, around her. So may irritate ka lang kung ganun siya, if that is the kind of personality she is showing to you. However, if you try to, know her, better, mas maintindihan mo kung bakit ganun siya, because maybe she is in pain. She has been, living on her own for a long time, and now she's in the hospital, and she has patients beside her, and people, around her coming to her, asking her if she's okay, and all that. Ayaw niya ng ganyan. So, if you try to talk to the patient, more, yun nga, magtanong ka, do you have family? Are you married? Do you have children? With that, information, it will help us to analyze, her. It's not only forming. You can even, categorize her as well with the 4 gems, with all those information that you can, gather. And then, it will be easier for us to interact with them, to manage, them. Yes. My God, this is like
It's like when you want to know the person, it's like, oh, anong zodiac sign niya, anong birthstone niya,
yeah.
parang ganon, di ba? So parang you know how to deal that person because basing on that information, oh, Scorpio siya or Libra siya, parang at
I'm a
least almost the same
Taurus,
like that.
so I'm hard-headed.
So para kang
Taurus. Who
kung sa
is Taurus?
lalaki, para kang
Ah?
nanliligaw. Kung may tipo ka, you'll try to find out what she likes, where she
Alamin mo
goes.
lahat.
O, diba? Parang
Yeah.
ganyan. So it's
History
easy
taking, di
for
ba? We
you.
used to joke about it, Thea. Di
Mm.
ba pag may cute, oh, go na, history taking ka na. History taking means, find out, ano ba? Are they rich? may car ba siya? natatawa si Thea. Di ba ganun yun, history taking? Go, mag-history taking ka na. Meaning, mag-research ka na kung anong klaseng boylet. At
Okay.
saka, tapos we used to, pa natin, di ba yung baby, yung Apgar? Anong Apgar? Apgar 10. Ibig sabihin, yeah.
After scoring.
Yeah, Apgar scoring. Oh, there's a new doctor here. Anong Apgar? Apgar 10. Apgar 10 ba yung guwapo or pangit? Or ano ba yung scoring? 0 or 10?
10, guwapo.
Gwapo yung 10. Baka 0 yung... Anong Apgar? 5. 50-50 lang yan. Di ba? Remember, we used to do that. Kasi parang
So,
confused naman.
what's our topic for next week?
Okay.
So,
Which
it's
page are we
been 10
going next
minutes
And
week?
we're still
already. So
live.
shall we
wrap
wrap
this
up?
up now? Shall we say goodbye? And we actually
Yeah, we've been
have...
an hour now.
Yes, I know. Sherry Ann, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Ancha.
Oh,
I don't know
Vicky,
if they're still watching us. Yes, thank you for
Hi,
tuning
guys.
in. Hope to see you next time, next Thursday. We will be on time, next time.
We can
I
invite
think we're
Vicky.
never on time. We're never back on 9 o'clock.
I
There's
know. We
always a
will
bit of
just say
a
Thursday night.
hassle.
We will just say Thursday night. Yung time is question mark. We are going live on Thursday night. Yes, so shall we say goodbye now,
Can we
ladies?
say bye?
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Miss.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night,
Thank
everyone. Thank
you.
you for tuning
Bye,
in.
guys.